2002 National Electrical Code (NEC) addresses specific requirements for the placement of light fixtures in proximity to bathtubs. The primary concern is electrical safety, aiming to minimize the risk of electric shock in potentially wet environments. The NEC establishes a zone around the bathtub within which certain types of electrical equipment and fixtures are restricted. This zone is defined as extending 3 ft horizontally from the rim of the bathtub and 8 ft vertically from the rim. Within this zone, the code stipulates that no part of a light fixture can be located. This restriction applies to various types of light fixtures, including hanging fixtures, lighting track, pendants, and ceiling suspended paddle fans. The intent is to prevent individuals in the bathtub from coming into contact with energized electrical components. The term hanging fixtures encompasses a broad category of luminaires that are suspended from the ceiling or other overhead structures. This would include chain-hung fixtures, pendant lights, and chandeliers. The critical aspect is that the fixture is suspended, allowing it to potentially swing or be within reach of someone in the bathtub. Wall sconce lights, even when mounted above sinks near a bathtub, are also subject to these clearance requirements. The code does not differentiate based on the mounting location of the fixture, but rather on its potential to be within the defined zone. Therefore, if a wall sconce is located within 3 ft horizontally and 8 ft vertically of the bathtub rim, it violates the NEC stipulations. The NEC requirements are intended to provide a safe environment by minimizing the risk of electrical hazards in bathrooms. Water is an excellent conductor of electricity, and the presence of water significantly increases the risk of electric shock. By establishing clearance zones around bathtubs, the code aims to prevent electrical fixtures from being within reach of individuals who may be wet or in contact with water. It's important to note that the specific requirements of the NEC may vary depending on the edition of the code being enforced. Local jurisdictions may also have additional requirements or amendments to the NEC. It is always advisable to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or licensed electrician to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Several factors contribute to the necessity of these clearance requirements. Firstly, the human body's resistance to electrical current is significantly reduced when wet. This means that even a relatively low voltage can cause a dangerous or even fatal electric shock. Secondly, the presence of water can create a conductive path between electrical fixtures and individuals in the bathtub. This conductive path can allow electricity to flow through the body, causing serious injury. Thirdly, the close proximity of electrical fixtures to water increases the risk of corrosion and deterioration of the fixtures themselves. Corrosion can compromise the insulation and protective barriers of the fixtures, increasing the risk of electrical hazards. The NEC clearance requirements address these risks by ensuring that electrical fixtures are located far enough away from bathtubs to minimize the potential for contact and to reduce the risk of electrical shock. While the specific dimensions of the clearance zone may seem arbitrary, they are based on a careful assessment of the potential hazards involved. The 3 ft horizontal clearance is intended to account for the reach of an individual in the bathtub, while the 8 ft vertical clearance is intended to account for the height of the individual and the potential for water spray or splashing. In addition to the clearance requirements, the NEC also specifies other safety measures for electrical installations in bathrooms. These measures include the use of ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs for all receptacles and circuits serving the bathroom. GFCIs are designed to detect even small amounts of leakage current and to quickly interrupt the circuit, preventing electric shock. The NEC also requires that all electrical fixtures and equipment used in bathrooms be listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory. Listing and labeling indicate that the equipment has been tested and found to comply with applicable safety standards. It is crucial to follow all applicable electrical codes and regulations when installing or modifying electrical systems in bathrooms. Improper installations can create serious safety hazards and can also violate building codes. Consulting with a qualified electrical inspector or licensed electrician can help to ensure that all work is performed safely and in compliance with the code. Now let's dive a bit deeper into the technical reasons and considerations behind these regulations. Firstly, the concept of electrical potential difference is crucial. Electrical potential difference, measured in volts, is the driving force that causes electric current to flow. The higher the voltage, the greater the potential for current to flow through a conductive path. In a typical household electrical system in the United States, the voltage is 120 volts for most branch circuits and 240 volts for large appliances. While 120 volts may seem relatively low, it is more than enough to cause a dangerous or even fatal electric shock, especially when the body is wet. Secondly, let's discuss resistance. Resistance, measured in ohms, is the opposition to the flow of electric current. The higher the resistance, the lower the current that will flow for a given voltage. The human body has a certain amount of resistance to electrical current, but this resistance varies depending on several factors, including whether the skin is wet or dry. Dry skin has a relatively high resistance, while wet skin has a significantly lower resistance. When the skin is wet, the resistance can drop to as low as 1000 ohms or less. This means that a much larger current will flow through the body when it is wet, increasing the risk of electric shock. Now we must look at Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the voltage and inversely proportional to the resistance. This can be expressed mathematically as current, measured in amps, equals voltage, measured in volts, divided by resistance, measured in ohms. From Ohm's law, we can see that if the voltage is constant and the resistance decreases, the current will increase. This is why the risk of electric shock is so much greater when the body is wet. The decreased resistance allows a much larger current to flow through the body, potentially causing serious injury or death. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are designed to protect against electric shock by detecting even small amounts of leakage current. A GFCI works by monitoring the current flowing through the hot and neutral conductors of a circuit. In a properly functioning circuit, the current flowing through the hot conductor should be equal to the current flowing through the neutral conductor. If there is a leakage current, meaning that some of the current is flowing through a path other than the intended circuit, a GFCI will detect this imbalance and quickly interrupt the circuit. GFCIs are typically designed to trip when the leakage current exceeds 5 milliamps. This is a very small amount of current, but it is enough to cause a dangerous electric shock. The speed at which a GFCI trips is also crucial. GFCIs are designed to trip within a fraction of a second, typically within 25 milliseconds. This rapid response time helps to minimize the duration of the electric shock, reducing the severity of the injury. The NEC requires GFCIs in all bathrooms for receptacles and circuits serving the bathroom because of the increased risk of electric shock in these locations. The presence of water and the potential for wet skin make it more likely that a person will come into contact with a live electrical conductor. GFCIs provide an additional layer of protection by quickly interrupting the circuit if a leakage current is detected. Now let's consider the specifics of the NEC regulations concerning light fixtures near bathtubs and showers. The NEC defines a zone around the bathtub or shower that is considered to be a wet location. This zone extends 3 FT horizontally from the edge of the bathtub or shower and 8 FT vertically from the floor. Within this zone, certain types of electrical equipment are prohibited or restricted. The purpose of these restrictions is to minimize the risk of electric shock in these wet locations. Light fixtures located within this zone must be specifically designed for wet locations and must be installed in accordance with the NEC. This typically means that the fixtures must be enclosed and gasketed to prevent water from entering the fixture. The fixtures must also be properly grounded to provide a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker or GFCI. The NEC also restricts the types of switches and receptacles that can be located within this zone. Switches and receptacles must be GFCI protected and must be located at least 5 FT away from the edge of the bathtub or shower. This is to prevent people from reaching into the bathtub or shower while using electrical devices. The NEC also has specific requirements for the wiring methods used in bathrooms. All wiring must be installed in accordance with the NEC and must be protected from physical damage. This typically means that the wiring must be installed in conduit or other approved raceway. The NEC also requires that all metal enclosures and raceways be properly grounded. The grounding requirements are intended to provide a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker or GFCI. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety in all locations, but it is particularly important in bathrooms where the risk of electric shock is higher. It is important to note that the NEC is a minimum standard and that local jurisdictions may have additional requirements. It is always best to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or licensed electrician to ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Now let's consider some practical examples of how these NEC regulations apply in real-world situations. Imagine a bathroom with a bathtub located in one corner of the room. A wall sconce is mounted on the wall above the sink, which is located next to the bathtub. If the wall sconce is located within 3 ft horizontally and 8 ft vertically of the bathtub rim, it violates the NEC regulations. The wall sconce would need to be relocated to a position outside of the restricted zone or replaced with a fixture that is specifically designed for wet locations. Another example would be a hanging light fixture suspended from the ceiling above a bathtub. If the bottom of the light fixture is located within 8 ft of the bathtub rim, it violates the NEC regulations. The light fixture would need to be raised to a height greater than 8 ft above the bathtub rim or replaced with a fixture that is specifically designed for wet locations. In addition to the clearance requirements and GFCI protection, the NEC also requires that all electrical equipment used in bathrooms be listed and labeled by recognized testing laboratories such as Underwriters Laboratories, or Listing and labeling indicate that the equipment has been tested and found to comply with applicable safety standards. It is important to use only listed and labeled electrical equipment in bathrooms to ensure that it meets the minimum safety requirements. The NEC is a complex and comprehensive document, and it is not always easy to understand and apply. If unsure about any aspect of the NEC, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or licensed electrician. They can provide guidance and assistance to ensure that all electrical work is performed safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Finally, it is important to remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following the NEC regulations and taking precautions can minimize the risk of electric shock and create a safe environment for ourselves and others. Electrical work should always be performed by qualified individuals who are trained and experienced in electrical safety practices. Attempting to perform electrical work without proper training and experience can be dangerous and can lead to serious injury or death. In summary, the NEC regulations concerning light fixtures near bathtubs and showers are designed to protect people from electric shock. These regulations establish clearance zones around bathtubs and showers and restrict the types of electrical equipment that can be located within these zones. The NEC also requires GFCI protection for receptacles and circuits serving bathrooms and requires that all electrical equipment used in bathrooms be listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory. By following these regulations, we can minimize the risk of electric shock and create a safe environment for ourselves and others. These are critical safety considerations and should always be taken seriously. Understanding and adhering to these regulations is essential for ensuring electrical safety in residential and commercial buildings. The National Electrical Code serves as a cornerstone for safe electrical practices, and its guidelines must be followed diligently.